land of magnificent natural beauty and cultural heritage. God's own country, where the breathtaking scenic beauty invites the gods themselves to reside in this paradise on earth. Bordered on the west by the lapping waves of the Arabian Sea, and on the east by the lush greenery of the Western Ghats, Kerala is nature's treasure trove with its mesmerizing mysteries and wonders. One such social, cultural and ecological wonder is the sacred grove, more aptly called the Gardens of the Gods. Found in almost all districts of Kerala, sacred groves or kavus are small patches of forests ranging from a few cents to many acres. Some are sparsely populated with just a few trees, but others are truly botanical sanctuaries. There are several myths and legends associated with sacred groves, but history tells us that they are relics of an ancient agricultural landscape. These temples of worship are actually patches of forest set apart by humans when they cleared forest land for cultivation. Over the years, these kavus became an integral part of the life, culture and folklore traditions of Kerala, although their numbers have come down drastically in recent times. In the census report of Travancore, published in 1891, Lieutenant Ward and Lieutenant Corner reported the presence of about 15,000 sacred groves in Kerala. By the end of 1900s, however, it came down to less than 1,000. Although small in size, sacred groves are true temples of biodiversity. The floral wealth they harbour is astonishingly rich. For example, the total area of Silent Valley National Park is more than 200 square kilometers, and it contains about 1,000 plant species. Whereas the total area of the sacred groves in Kerala is a mere 1.4 square kilometers, and yet it harbours 722 species. Of this, about 150 plant species are endemic to our peninsular India. Like with many instances of shrinkage of biodiversity in the Indian subcontinent, the sacred groves of Kerala are also shrinking. A devotional song called Thottam, believed to have been composed between 500 and 600 AD, names 108 major Ayyappan kavas spread all over Kerala, but very few survive today, like this Lord Ayyappa temple of Aryankava in southern Kerala. The sacred groves are found in diverse habitats, from the coast to the midlands. All of them are dedicated to gods and goddesses, or to certain ancestral spirits of the families who have ownership over the kava. The sacred groves of northern Kerala are mostly associated with goddesses, while those in the south with Naga or snake worship. This is Sri Mannampurathu Bhagavati temple, right in the middle of Neeleshwaram town in Kasaragod district. It is one of the most popular sacred groves of northern Kerala, where thousands of devotees throng for blessings of the goddess every month. Just beside the temple is a real garden of the goddess, with innumerable plant and tree species. Lianas, which have taken hundreds of years to grow to the size of a mature tree trunk. Dalbergia horrida, a tree with deadly thorns that were once used as weapons in a bygone era. The beautiful Curcuma eleganta with white and orange flowers. The highly medicinal Gloriosa superba, etc. There are some sacred groves where no god or goddess is worshipped. But there, the lit lamp symbolizes the spirit of the forest. In Kollam district of southern Kerala also, we have the Ochirakava, where it is the supreme being, the creator or Parabrahman who is worshipped. Other than being repositories of rare plant life, sacred groves also act as freshwater ecosystems, meeting the needs of local communities. They act as natural sponges that release perennial fresh water throughout the year. Look at this ancient Tarekava near Kannur, which is surrounded on all sides by mangroves and brackish water. Yet, in the small temple well here, the water is pure and non-saline. A few kilometers away from Tarekava and the Parayangadi river, high on a plateau is the Madai Kava and the adjacent grasslands where trillions of tiny flowers of all shapes and colors bloom collectively like a perfectly coordinated floral orchestra during the Onam season. For children participating in floral design competitions in their schools, the flowers are up for grabs. In Madai temple, one of the oldest in Kerala, the chief deity is Mahakali. Here, the priests who are called Pidarar Brahmins belong to a particular sect associated with Kali worship and are allowed to eat meat. One of the sacred offerings to the goddess is domestic fowl. This practice is continued even today. The temple is surrounded on all three sides by a miniature forest of immense floral diversity. The history of many sacred groves is shrouded in mystery. This is best exemplified in this remote sacred grove dedicated to god Shasta near Nileshwaram. Here, one can see a collection of terracotta figures of animals like dogs and pigs piled up on the ground. They are believed to be thousands of years old. They might have been offerings to the gods to save the people and their agriculture from wild animals. About 40 kilometers east of Nileshwaram, at Bhima Nadi, is the Kammadattukava, where the goddess Thai Paradevata is worshipped. Here, the thick forest patch is sprawled over an area of about 55 acres, probably the largest sacred grove in Kerala. This forest has trees and shrubs characteristic of a semi-evergreen forest. Five rivulets emerge from here to form a stream that flows perennially to join a river about 5 kilometers away. Undoubtedly, This is the only sacred grove in Kerala where you can find leeches, usually found only in an evergreen forest, and the rare giant tree fern that is often seen only in high elevation sholas of the high ranges of Idukki district. Very close to the metro city of Kochi is the small bustling township of Perumbavoor. Ask anyone for directions to Iringol, and within minutes you are at the entrance to the most popular sacred grove temple of Ernakulam district. The temple, in the middle of a luxuriant forest patch of about 50 acres, is very ancient. No modern structures have been built here to intrude on the serenity and sanctity of the place. Goddess Kartiyani is the main deity here. Every month, the day of Kartika is auspicious for the devotees of the temple. Soon after the morning Shiveli, there is a communal feast which is well attended by local people of all ages. With the lighting of the traditional oil lamps in the late evening, the day comes to a close. The devotees depart with hearts full of love and hope. As one comes down to southern Kerala, just a few kilometers off National Highway 47 at Haripad near Alapi, is one of the most popular of all sacred groves, the Mannarasala Sri Nagaraja temple. The rituals of snake worship reach very elaborate forms here, unlike any other temple of Kerala. Here, the chief priest is an elderly woman. She is the only one traditionally assigned to do the most important ritual of the temple called Noorum Palam. This ritual is conducted on the day of the Ayilyam star every month. The forest grove surrounding the temple is hundreds of years old, with trees of several species, lianas, wild cane or calamus, just to mention a few. Some of the natural ponds here are home to tortoises too. These patches of sacred groves, whether protected by families as in Mannarasala, or this patch of Zyzegium travancoricum, one of the rarest trees of Western Ghats that survive well protected behind a small temple near Thrissur, or these extremely rare Myristica swamps being protected by tribals and local communities in the foothills of Western Ghats near Trivandrum. All of them epitomize a sobering ecological truth, that the ancient Indian way of in situ conservation of biological and genetic diversity is best exemplified in the sacred groves of Kerala, the gardens of the gods.